Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for today's continuous discussion on Bhaktiyaloka. So today we're going to discuss on the topic of Niscaya, confidence. Confidence. So we have already gone through discussion on the six activities that are going to destroy our bhakti, and now we are studying these six qualities that enhances our bhakti. Okay, so we have already spoke about Utsaha. Utsaha, there was a topic yesterday. Utsaha means endeavoring, endeavoring. Utsaha in Malay. In Tamil also we call Utshagam, Utsaha. Then today we're going to continue discussing on the second part of that quality that enhances our bhakti. That's called Nischayat. Nischayat means confidence, right? So that's the topic for today. Let me check. Niscaya, sorry, not Nischaya, Nischaya. And of course, this is going to be a very long chapter, a long topic. All right, anyway, so before we do, let's offer our obeisances and our gratitude to all our previous acharyas, our preceptors, our spiritual master, to get their causeless mercy so that we can study this subject matter very effectively. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutari Premade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvashesha Shunyavadi Pasachade Satarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshapana Videvidayitaye Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnanadayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jwala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarini Rupanuga Virda Patidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralapara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhaktivinodaya Satchitananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumistun Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubevacha Paditanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavevayo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratase Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Surupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Stude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hari Om Tat Sat Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Jaya Pratapa Swamini Namini Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayini Gaura Pada Damadaya Nagara Grama Tarini. Hare Krishna. So we continue our discussion. Just a short recap. Okay, let me just share the screen first. Krishna Krishna Hare Right. So yesterday we spoke about on this topic, a quick recap, right? Okay. The Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas carelessly is counted among the offenses against the holy name. Careless. I mean, not being very attentive. In the scripture, the word pramada is described as inattentiveness. Sri Harinam Chintamani has further divided the inattentiveness in three ways. All right, we studied that yesterday. Number one is apathy, inactivity, and distraction. Until one gets free from these, three types of inattentiveness, one cannot perform devotional service at all. Okay, so this is something that we should consider. Even if one gives up other nama prat, okay, even if he gives up all other types of offenses against the holy name, but if he still remains inattentive, he can never, he can never have attraction for the holy name, to the holy name. So distraction is not so good, okay, and that's why that says that we have to be very, very attentive when we chant, because we must understand chanting of the holy name is you are having an exclusive appointment with Srimati Radharani, and you are asking her, begging her to engage you in that service, in that confidential service of the Lord. So you're just asking her, oh my dear Radharani, no, please engage me. Just imagine if you are going to see some politicians or even king or anybody, all right, anyone that greater than you, if you are going there and asking for a favor, you have to be very attentive in asking that favor. You cannot look right, look left. Can you help me or not? Then while watching your checking your phone or checking your WhatsApp, sometimes when you go and talk to these kind of VIPs, we have to be very attentive. We have to look at him face to face because he's also a very busy person, and we have to be professional, right? Similarly, you are talking to the Supreme Goddess, the Supreme Mother for all of us, the Supreme. And she is the one that controls Sri Krishna, because she is the internal potency of Sri Krishna and she controls him. And we are going and begging her, kindly, oh mother, engage me in the service. Please put me into this confidential service. I do not want anything else. I do not want heaven. I do not want Satyaloka, Brahmaloka. I don't even want Vaikuntha. I want you. I want to be a personal associate of you. I would like to assist you or assist your servant of the servant, okay, in the service of the Supreme Personality. So you are basically like begging. So after, according to your sincerity, if she finds that you are very sincere, right? You're very sincere, then she says, well, okay, I'll grant that appointment. I'll appoint you. Okay. So we have to be very, what they call, very attentive, right? And of course, in order to do that, okay, if one has enthusiasm in the beginning of devotional service, and that enthusiasm does not become cold, right? Later, you don't become cold. First, when people are starting in Hare Krishna, you can see so much enthusiasm. After some time, they become cold, right? Then one will never become apathetic, lazy, or distracted. That means we cannot lose our enthusiasm. One will never have apathetic, laziness, and distracted in chanting the holy names. So chanting the holy names, we have to be very enthusiastic. We have to be very attentive. because you are given this opportunity after so long. Imagine you are trying to get an audience from the king. You're putting your application to meet him. After many months or years, suddenly the king says, okay, now you come and see me. So how you should go? You cannot be very distracted. You cannot be very uh, dull. No, you have to be very enthusiastic. At last, I got opportunity. Similarly, we have got opportunity to chant the holy name of the Lord. So we have to be very, very enthusiastically practice this bhajan. All right. So with that enthusiasm, so now the second topic that we are going to touch here, first we spoke about enthusiasm, that we should be very, very enthusiastic in our attempt, because enthusiasm is very, very important. And even to live life, you have to be very enthusiastic. Even to be going out to work, even to go for an exam, go for a school, even going for an interview, in interview, how you're selected, because I've been an interviewer before. I used to interview people. When people come and start to show very highly qualified, but they look like a dull-headed guy, nerd and all this, definitely he doesn't attract me. Because in the future, I don't want this kind of stuff working for me, the dull-headed people. Because already we are all coming here after a lot of stress, right? Because to work is a stress, and of course to handle home and everything next day morning, if we don't have enough sleep, you are somewhere other coming is frustration. Nobody goes to work with happiness, right? Those who are working, you should know. Not every day you can be very enthusiastic to go to work. Wish Sunday, but it is Monday, Monday blues. So you go there, suddenly you see this nerd sitting there, okay, highly qualified, triple PhD. Of course, definitely I don't like. All right. But at the same time, a person who don't have much qualification, but he is very enthusiastic, definitely he attracts me, and I will love to appoint these kind of people, because the skill can be developed. The skill can be developed. The education, it's only a stepping stone. The application is only can happen when a person is very enthusiastic. So similarly, enthusiasm is very, very important in even our this thing. Even say if your relationship with your husband and wife, you're not enthusiastic, finish. Sometimes I heard people saying, the wife will be telling, I married a stone. I married a log. Why are you looking like a log? Come on, come, let's go. No need lah. No need. You I tell you, even the girls or boys also cannot tahan already, right? Has not? So enthusiasm, even in our material life, is very important. And the same enthusiasm we need to apply in our spiritual life, because everything that we have in material life is actually a reflection of spiritual life. So we are worshipping, we are connecting with something that is, like for instance, later we will study in this Niscaya. All right. First is material things, something can be conceived. There's two things that we will study here: conceivable and inconceivable. Conceivable means something that you can grasp, something you can take, something you can understand. Inconceivable, something that you cannot understand, you cannot grasp it. All right, you cannot capture it. So conceivable, something that is easy for material life, because everything, your material senses, everything is conceivable. The eye sees this, yes, conceivable. All right. The tongue tastes that food, conceivable. Everything can be grasped. But inconceivable means something that beyond our material senses, that spiritual senses. Okay. So beyond this. So this is the thing. So in order to do that, all right, we have to be enthusiastic. All right. Even that's something we cannot see. And secondly is confident. Confidence is very, very important. So in each Upadesha Mrita, Sri Rupa Goswami has instructed practitioner. Okay. In Upadesha Mrita, that means nectar of instruction. All right. So Rupa Goswami instructed the practitioner of devotional service to be confident. We have to be very, very confident in our decision. It's not to say that we should not doubt it, because doubt is very dangerous. Until the confidence is achieved, please underline, one will remain doubtful, right? Until there's no confidence, one will remain doubtful, because doubtful person never have auspiciousness. Please underline this word. Doubtful person never have auspiciousness. All right. Even say if you start to doubt your spouse, finish. You start to doubt your everything. You doubt your job. You doubt the government. You doubt the thing. So nothing works, right? Say like for instance, we are buying insurance. We don't know how the thing is going to help us in the future. So when you start to doubt that insurance idea, what happens? You don't buy it. But when the thing you need it, you can't have it. If you're going to doubt the bank, you can never put in the money. So doubt is something very, very inauspicious. Doubt is always will spoil everything, even relationship, right? So that's why Rupa Goswami is saying if a person is doubtful, he can never even achieve any auspiciousness. For how will those, right? For how will those who are doubtful at heart, okay, now say, how will those who are doubtful at heart have faith in unalloyed devotional service? How? The Bhagavad Gita 4:40 says it's very important verse, all right? I think we have spoke about it even in, I think I've also elaborated that during Gita again. Anyas chashradadanas cha shayatma vinashyati nayam lokosti na paro na sukham shayatmana na sukham. Na means no, sukha means happiness, right? There's no way you can be happiness. But ignorant and faithful person who doubt the revealed scripture, do not attain God consciousness. What will happen to them? They fall down. For doubting soul, there is no happiness neither in this world nor in the next. Not even here and not even in the next life. You can never have happiness. One who has faith is certain, okay? One who has faith is certainly without doubts. Right? So that means those who have faith means is certainly without doubt. So what is faith? Faith means you trust something. And opposite of faith is doubt. You're doubting something. So that means those who have faith, that means this person have no doubt about it. Because the word faith means firm conviction. All right, you're convinced, your firm conviction. As long as doubts are there, okay, firm conviction cannot remain in the heart. Firm means what? You're very, very firm. You're very strong. But if you have doubt, finish. That means when a person have doubt, means there's no conviction. Okay. Therefore, faithful living entities are always doubtless. All right. That's why the faithful living entities are always doubtless. Even a very happy marriage can break when the spouse doubt each other. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ordered all Vaishnava. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ordered all Vaishnavas, all devotees to first understand the three truths. We must understand the three truths. All right? There's a three kinds of truth, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks us to understand. What are those? Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Please underline this word. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. Okay. So what is Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana? We will discuss in our following what they call paragraph. Okay, please. So that means we understand. Please underline this word. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ordered all Vaishnava. That means these three carries all the secret. If you understand these three things, it's considered that you have understood everything. All right. So he said, as ordered all Vaishnava to first understand. That means before you could go into a further understanding, we must first understand the three truths: Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. And then there are 10 principal subjects in these three truths. That means in these three truths, Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana, there are 10 principles. Okay. And the first is that the Vedic literature are the only authority. That's the first principle. What is that? The Vedic literature are the only authority and nothing else. All right. Not some kind of motivational books like Think and Grow Rich is the authority. All right. The authority is the Vedic literature. In order to ascertain the truth, one must accept. In order to ascertain the truth, if a person want to find the truth, one must first accept the authority. All right. I have to accept the authority. So once I in everywhere, even in law, okay, in law enforcement, okay, even medical line, we must know the authority. All right. Without authority, how you can ascertain the truth? How sure? Okay. Say like for instance, a doctor's son, he say, so the doctor, the son say the gastrosurgeon. Okay, the father is a gastrosurgeon. Then always discuss these medical things to the son. Every day the father will explain, like this. So now I've got a problem in my stomach. Need a surgery. So then suddenly the son says, well, I have learned everything from my father. Please come. I want to cut open and repair your stomach. Will I allow that? Will I allow that? He can be, by practicality, he can be there. But does he have the authority? Does he have the license? Has he gone through a proper training? All right. So even through this, so that means we must know. So that means in order for us to ascertain the truth, the Vedic literature is only the truth. And in order to understand the truth, we must accept authority. All right. We cannot act whimsically. We cannot say, oh, I know everything. All right. I know everything. Who are you to tell me? Oh, I have studied the Vedas. Okay. There's like a certain quarter of people says that, okay, I've studied all the Vedas. All right. I have studied Bhagavad Gita, I've studied Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Or sometimes they have these titles, Bhakti Sastri. The first four books is Bhakti Sastri. Upadesha, I mean Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion. Then Bhagavad Gita and Ishopanishad. If you can do these 4 subjects, okay, it takes something like 6 months course provided by ISKCON, and you'll be Bhakti Sastri certified. Okay. So then after you finish your Bhakti Sastri, then after that you continue with Bhakti Vaibhava. Bhakti Vaibhava means you study the first 6 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. Alright? Bhakti Vaibhava. Then after that you go to Bhakti Vedanta. Bhakti Vedanta means you study the other six cantos. That means if you have Bhakti Vedanta title, that means you have completed all the 12 cantos. Then after that you go into Bhakti Sarva Bhauma. Bhakti Sarva Bhauma means you have scrutinizingly studied Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's the highest. That's considered like PhD. Right? So, even after studying all that, and the person says, well, I think I would like to isolate myself. I know what I'm doing. I know what I've studied because I know everything about the Vedas. Right? Vedas. So that means I practice myself in isolation. I don't want to go to temple. I don't want to associate people. I mean, I know what I'm doing. No, that's not the way. Even though that how much that we have accepted in all this, we have to accept authority. That's why in ISKCON, the GBC was created, Governing Body Commission. The Governing Body Commission is the ultimate authority of ISKCON. They are the final say. They are the lawmaker. Right? They are the lawmaker. So we have to accept such authority. Okay, without authority, we cannot proceed in our devotional life. Okay, so we cannot be in one-man island. Oh, I stay in one place, I do like whatever I like. Or unless if you have medical condition or your like age and all this is different. I'm talking about when you're young and this thing. Okay, I don't like to associate. I just want to be myself. That's not the thing. Okay, we have to, because that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. All right, there's a 10 principle. And the first of that is the Vedic literature is the only authority. All right. And that Vedic literature says association of devotees is very important. What else are you going to argue about it? There's nothing to argue about. They say that what they call association of devotee, practicing sadhana in the association of devotee. Don't associate with non-devotees. Don't associate with Mayavadis. Throw them away and only keep devotee as your associate. Right? In fact, in every relationship, there will be something sour. There will be some kind of truffle. There will be some kind of struggle and also unhappiness. Everything is there. Even in our material life is there. So sometime when we're going to have that kind of feeling with our fellow devotees, we should just tolerate, forgive, and even keep a blind eye. Just don't bother. All right? By doing that, you are not trying to be, we are not trying to be ignorant. Oh, how can I keep a blind eye on that? No, that person says something like this to me. Who is he to talk to me? No, just tolerate. Right? After all, always remember this. After all, they are fellow devotees. No one else. I was not what they call chastised by an outsider. I was never chastised by an outsider. I was never. Who chastised me? Who find fault in me? a devotee. It's okay, right? So it's okay. So that's that authority, right? So we have to accept the authority. There are 9 realities, okay? So one must accept the authority. That means there are 9 realities which can be known only through Vedic authority. Can be known only through the Vedic authority. That means there are 9 realities. Imagine, remember, 10 principles and 9 realities. And where can you understand this? All only in through the Vedic authority. Different scripture have defined different authorities. Okay. Some say pratyaksha. All right. So that means when we look at, okay, now when we look at authority, okay, Vedic is authority. But in Vedic authority, there are different scriptures. All right. And have defined different authorities. That means every scripture, okay, have defined different authorities. All right. Like example, some say pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means or direct understanding, all right, is the best. Some say anumana or hypothetical, all right, understanding. Anumana. In Tamil, we call anumanam. Anumanam, what they call experience. All right, anumana or hypothetical understanding. And some say upamana or analogies are authorities. So that means when you want to give something, you give through the analogy. Okay. There are 3 different types of authority given. Some say pratyaksha. What is pratyaksha means? Direct understanding. Number 2, some say anumana or hypothetical understanding. Number 3, some say upamana or analogies. Analogy, like give example. Right? Analogies are authorities. And others include, some also include the subjects as others include other subjects also as authority. All other authorities. However, now Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying all other authorities, however, are considered auxiliary authorities. What is auxiliary authorities? Auxiliary means reserve. All right. See, like there's auxiliary police, PVR, police volunteer reserve, PVR, called auxiliary police. Or we also can say auxiliary army, military. So these are the people who are reserve. Okay. Or like in football, in a football term, we call pemain simpanan. All right. So the reserve player. When there's one main player injured, then this will go in. So like that. So all these other authorities, however, are considered auxiliary or simpanan, all right, just reserve authorities by the Vaishnava literatures propounded by Sriman Mahaprabhu. So Sriman Mahaprabhu have said all these are auxiliary, not the main backup. Therefore, the self-perfect authority, now please remember this thing, please underline this word, all right? The self-perfect authorities received through the disciplic succession is the only principle authority accepted. There are so many rules and regulations out there, but all these things to be understood as auxiliary, right? But the only perfect authority is when it received through the disciplic succession, all right? That means through the Guru Parambara, all right? It's the only principal authority to be accepted. So we do not need to divert away from our understanding, right? Sometimes they say, I would like to study Kena Upanishad. There's one volume set of Kena Upanishad. I would like to study that. Or some say, I like to study Mukun, what they call, what Upanishad is that? I just saw that. Mundaka Upanishad. I think Mundaka Upanishad. Then I want to study this book. I want to study that book. All these things are auxiliary, I'm telling you. All right. It is just like you are going into a place, a garden, and when in the garden there is a main attractive tree, like a mango tree, okay, or this what they call jackfruit tree are there. That's the main attraction. You know, when you're going into a garden, you see, wow, there's a big, huge mango orchard. Oh, there's what they call jackfruit, not durian. Oh, there's a rambutan tree. Wow, I just can pluck and look at the rambutan big. And inside the seed is so tiny, I could just eat it like an apple, like that. Wow, all that. But while you are entering into the garden, there will be some kind of decorations around. They will put some hibiscus plant, some jasmine plant or whatever plant to make that environment looks more prettier. But your main attraction is inside. But on the way, there is a lot of plants that is being planted around it, all right, to make it more beautiful. So like that, it's all auxiliary. So like that, there are so many other Vedas. So many other Vedas. When you look at other parampara, like Sri Vaishnava parampara, they follow all these kind of other Vedas. Kena Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, and like that. There's so many books they follow, right? So there is a thing. But for us, when we are under Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara, we just follow the instruction of Sriman Mahaprabhu, right? We consider Sriman Mahaprabhu, because Sriman Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. He says all that are not important. Let's go straight to the orchard and enjoy the fruit, enjoy the knowledge. So therefore, the self-perfect authority received only through the disciplic succession, right? And that's the only thing accepted. Therefore, what we accept is this. Please listen carefully. Bhagavad Gita. And that is Bhagavad Gita as it is. There's so many Bhagavad Gitas around. And mostly have their own personal opinion. So we are following Bhagavad Gita as it is by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, because it's delivered as it is. Number 2, the second book that we accept, it is Srimad Bhagavatam. And that Srimad Bhagavatam is also by our Gaudiya Vaishnava Bhagavatam. Okay, that's translated in English by Srila Prabhupada. Okay, when you look at the Srimad Bhagavatam is also been practiced or studied and read by the Sri Vaishnava. But despite they study, they don't come to that understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality. They still remain Narayana as a Supreme Person. Okay, so when they talk about this kind of things like Iti Chamsa Kala Pumsa Krishna Stu Bhagavan Sai, even though Krishna, there are so many avatars, but the original personality of God is Sri Krishna, still that they will just, it doesn't attract their eyes, right? Because everything is attracted according to your mood, right? So like that. So we follow our Gaudiya Vaishnava Srimad Bhagavatam by Srila Prabhupada. Then number 3, main book that we will take it as authority is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. All right, these 3 books is the main that we should follow. Then other than that, we follow the instruction. There's so many instructions are given by our Parambara Acharya. We don't go and out of the box and read some other Acharyas, because they don't have the mood of our Parambara. So all that mood of our Parambara from Sriman Mahaprabhu is that we follow. Even there's book written by, commentary by Madhvacharya, our Param Guru. Our Acharya is Madhvacharya. All that, yes, fine enough. But we just follow from Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? And all the Acharyas. Like what are the things that we see? Like now we have, is a Upadesha Mrita. Upadesha Mrita means nectar of instruction. And the commentary by Bhaktiyaloka by our Parambara Acharya, Bhaktivinoda. Then we will be going into Sri Harinam Chintamani. This Harinam Chintamani is also disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Haridas Thakur. Okay, he is the authority in japa, chanting. Then we will go into Upadesha Mrita by Srila Rupa Goswami. Then we will talk about Upadesha Mrita commentary by Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu. That is given commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, also of Acharya in our Parampara. Okay, after we complete all these things, then we will try to go into Bhagavad Gita. That's commentary by Srila Bhakti Vidya Bhushan, also of Acharya, and translated in English by Srila Prabhupada. Then we go into Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, there's a commentary and also by I think Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and translated by Prabhupada into English. Then Chaitanya Charitamrita. So maybe all these books maybe can take a lifetime to study. It's worth that effort, right? Because we are going into a deep studies, deep learning. Maybe take anything, God's willing, Krishna willing, that is it. But what is the ultimate goal of all these things? Right? Not to understand Krishna theoretically. Not to understand Krishna theoretically, not understand the relationship between Krishna and Radha theoretically. We want to go into deep studies. All right. And in between also, I've see, ever since we started these things, my mind is going wild. I just wish that we can do the class the whole day, right? Because there's another book is also a beautiful book. It's called Madhurya Kadambini. Madhurya Kadambini. Then also there's also all the bhajans, okay, all the poems, poems that by all these like Loknath Das, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all the poems, all this poetry work, all right, that has a very deep meaning, all right. So we accept this as authority. This is what we are holding on. So we do not want to divert our attention to something else. All right? Because this is what Sriman Mahaprabhu has given. Through the disciplic succession, it comes under the parampara. It is not something whimsically out of thin air it appeared. It is in all the acharyas here, they have only one purpose in life. Upadeshamrita, we study. Then we talk about Bhagavad Gita, surrender unto me completely. Why? Then after that, what Srimad Bhagavatam says, Dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirma sharanam satam. Give up all kind of dharma, all kind of religiosity that is materially motivated. Give it up. Why? Right? And Bhagavatam ends in the only way of this in Kali Yuga is only by chanting the holy name. Then Chaitanya Charitamrita starts the entire book on the glories of chanting the holy name of Krishna. Right? Then all the acharyas are keep writing about this chant. So all this work is just to convince us to chant attentive. We may see the chanting looks like so easy because we are all conceived the idea worship is or spirituality should look complicated. There should be banging, there should be big yagya, fire sacrifice, there should be big deity and we have to do big time archana. Then we should do this abhishek, that abhishek, panchamrita abhishek, 5 types of nectar. Then we have to do this fruit abhishek, that flower abhishek, these, because we are so conceived. Because naturally, when we came from our Indian background, Hindu background, so that is what we have been growing up seeing. Right? One ritual can take days or hours. Right? Then after all the ritual, then after that they do archana. Call the whole family members, recite their name and all the rasi, nakshatra, kotra, and tell the deity, my dear deity, this person is coming here. This nakshatra, this rasi, this nakshatra, this gotra, right? He is coming here and please give him dharma, artha, kama, moksha. The priest is singing dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Prati tata. I used to say that word. Prati tatastu. That means something. Okay, I'm just paraphrasing. That's a word. The word. See, all unwanted things left. The mind is a Rishti Prabastu or Rishti Tatastu or something like that. Satru Rishti, okay, something. So Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, give upon this person. He is here coming to worship you. He came with his offering of coconut, offering of banana, offering of betel leaf and betel nut. He's coming to give you offering. All right. And the person is Mr. A, this Rasi, this Nakshatra, this Gotra, and his family. Please give him Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Rishi, there's no word, it's not coming in. So like that, then he goes to the deity and says, this is the offering that the person brings. Please give him whatever he asks for. We are not doing all that. Because we are trained. We are all trained in such a way that this is what we used to see. Right? But suddenly now you're telling, don't do all these things. Abandon all these things. Give up. No need fire sacrifice, no need yagya, no need deity worship, no need all this abhishek, all that no need. Simply sit and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and achieve the highest perfection. How is that possible? Religious must be complicated. And now you're telling, where can I sit and chant? Anywhere. Gaura Kishore Das Babaji, such a great elevated devotee, the spiritual master of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Everyone will come and bother him. Oh, sadhu, please bless me this, please bless my family, please bless me this, please bless me that. All kind of people are coming and bother him. So he cannot perform bhajan. And you know where he went and performed? He went to the toilet. In those days, the toilet is like a bowl, like a container. You do the business there, and after that, someone will carry this and go and pour it outside. I think around 50, 60 years, 50 years. Yeah, I think during my young time, I think that's the time they changed. Okay, I think I remember saw only once. They carry. They call what? What is the term they call? Midnight soil. They call midnight soil.
Bucket system.
Yeah, the bucket system. They call midnight soil. Right? So when you see those days, if you go to olden house, you see the toilet is upstairs. You have to climb and see. Usually the toilet should be, but there you have to climb and see. Because down there, there's a bucket. And imagine Bhakti, the Gaur Kishore Das Babaji go to that kind of nasty place to chant because people never come there. People never come. Oh, they come, they close their nose and run away. Even in that kind of situation, doesn't matter. Chant, chant, and chant. So this entire Purana, all these works are all prepared to convince you. And to tell you, first as a sadhaka, when you first start with sadhana bhakti, as a devotional practitioner, just an ordinary devotional practitioner. And what is that highest level you can achieve? Prema bhakti. All right? And it still overrule your caste, your background. You can be born in the lowest of the lowest caste. You can be even outcast. You can even be malicha, chandala. All right? You can even become a barbarian. All right? You can even be a cannibal. But when you simply chant this holy name of Krishna, you achieve the highest success, not Brahmana. Even Brahmana is still second class. The highest is Vaishnava. Achieve the highest perfection of being a pure devotee of the Lord, despite your birth. All right? It's not isolated only for Indians. It's given to every humanity. We have seen Chinese, we have seen other races. Even there's one of the races in Malaysia that it's not allowed. They are also a practicing devotee in other countries. Okay. Then like Westerners, Africans, just name it, Arabians, all are engaged in this kind of service. They achieve the highest success. So that is that conviction, right? So that's the conviction that all these studies are trying to prove to you, that to create confidence in you, right? That you are in the right path. You are not in a whimsical path. You are in the right path. You can achieve the highest success. And also to give you the confidence. If you are really confident, if you don't even have a doubt, with a drop of doubt, you can even go back home, back to God in this very birth itself. What is stopping you? Doubt. Right? What is stopping you? Doubt. That's why I said, write your journal. Try to identify yourself. Right? Try to identify yourself. Right? And see where is your weaknesses. And try to target that place and try to overcome it. So all the natures that exist in this world are divided. All the natures that exist in this world are divided into two categories. Now nature is divided. One is inconceivable and some are conceivable, like just now I said. So the material nature are conceivable. Right? The material nature is conceivable because they are automatically awakened in the course of thinking. When you think about it, you can awaken it. So spiritual nature is inconceivable because it is not perceivable by people with poor fund of knowledge. When you don't have a proper knowledge, when your knowledge is not powerful or strong enough, you can't perceive that idea if you don't have enough knowledge. All right. So inconceivable nature cannot be known without self-realization. So that means the inconceivable nature, the spiritual nature, cannot be understood without self-realization. And what is a self-realization? What is a self? That's why in chapter 2, Krishna speaks. You are not this body, you are a soul. So Krishna started to speak to Arjuna by making him understand. You are not killing them. They existed before. And they are existing now. And they go on existing in the future. Because they are the spirits. Because the soul is not muted, not this thing. You can't kill it. Likewise, Arjuna. You cannot be killed. Because you must understand. So we come to the level of self-realization. Not self-realization like, oh, I am this. Sometimes they say, oh, you have to know yourself. There's a science of, there's a self-awareness course, SAC. There's a kind of courses, self-awareness course. And that is a bogus course under the group called Sandosham, SAC, self-awareness course. And you know what they say? I am God, you God, dog, everything's God, but you don't realize it. That's the idea. The group Sandosham. They all will be like dressed all black, and they have one guru who is also a former, like they say, he's a Muslim and he loves biryani, and they'll keep there all black religiosity. We call Mahan, all right? And when they greet each other, Sandosham, 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 like that, right? So what is that? Ideology is to find out to make you realize that you are God. So once I challenged them, that was around 30 years already, 28, 29 years when I went for a course. Someone or other, somebody forced me. I just went there for 5 days. Total bogus. When they said, I am God, you are God, but the difference is I realized it and you have not realized it. Then I asked him, so that means, how about dog? How about cat? How about elephant? How about all these? Everything is God. The dog is God. The cat is dog. Then everything. Then after a while he's talking, then I asked him a question. Then why are you eating that God? Why are you killing the God cow? Why are you killing the God chicken? Why are you killing the God pig? And eating them? What nonsense you're talking? If you are God, you can eat other God. If like that, why not eat other fellow human being? Why not eat me? Come, please eat me. I'm a God, you are a God. You can eat any God you like. Why not eat me? You say, oh, you're talking too much. You're talking too much. I want to realize. You say, I'm a God. That means I'm a God. I just found out. Something I just found out I'm God. Maybe I'm a supreme God. I'm a superior God than you, That's why I'm asking you this question. You can answer. Then it started argument. It chased me out from it chased me out from the course. So like that, all this kind of nonsense. So that means, but we must understand what is that self-realization. What is my constitutional position? Okay. So what is my constitutional position? Where do I stand? What is my original nature? All right. And what is my relationship? Sambandha. All that we're going to study as we go on. Okay, I'm jumping the gun. We're supposed to go in a following phrase. Anyway, therefore, there is no entrance into conceivable subject for authorities like Pratyaksha. Therefore, there's no entrance into conceivable subjects for authorities like Pratyaksha. What is Pratyaksha? Can anyone tell me? Just now we studied. What is Pratyaksha?
Direct experience.
Direct experience, yes. So Pratyaksha means direct experience. So that means inconceivable nature. That means when we cannot understand the spiritual nature, inconceivable, cannot be grasped, because we have not achieved. Only one who can achieve it is those who self-realize. Those who self-realize, they cannot achieve. What is that self-realization come from? Right? So like example like this. Okay. Okay. All right. So now, so therefore, there's no entrance. No, the word is no. No entrance into inconceivable subject for authorities like Pratyaksha. So Pratyaksha, it cannot be possible. Why? Because Pratyaksha cannot be achieved people with poor fund of knowledge. Poor fund of knowledge. All right? Because the poor fund of knowledge, okay? Okay, why? And the poor fun of knowledge is actually, if you have poor fun of knowledge, you cannot come to the level of self-realization, right? If you have poor fun of knowledge, you cannot achieve self-realization. If you cannot achieve self-realization, there's no direct concept. There's no direct what they call pratyaksha, direct, what do you call that? What is the word? Just now, Prabhu, you said pratyaksha, direct understanding. So there's no way you can understand or conceive the idea because this is inconceivable. Are you all following me on this? So pratyaksha is this thing, all right? So which is included in the category of argument also. Okay, authorities like pratyaksha, which also are included in the category of argument. Okay, let me just move for this. Okay, now, so imperceivable people poor fun of knowledge. Inconceivable nature cannot be known without self-realization. Okay, therefore, there is no entrance into inconceivable subject for authorities like pratyaksha. That means all the authorities like pratyaksha, because which can be also included in the category of argument. All right, like for instance, like just now I said the argument, you are God, I am God, everybody's God. Then I told, no, you are not God, you're a dog. Opposite of God is dog. And he got very offended with me. I mean, I was very young that time, 19, 20 years old, quite aggressive type those days. So anyway, so that means nobody can enter into the entrance in inconceivable subject, like authority pratyaksha, because we cannot come to the, because we are not self-realized. And that's also included in the category argument, because when it's something that you cannot perceive, you can argue. You simply sit and argue or debate in order to prove your point. That is why Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu quoted in from the Mahabharata, Udyoga Parva says, in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami quotes something from Mahabharata in this chapter, Udyoga Parva. Achintya kalu ye bhava, natang starkena yojayet, prakriti bhya parang yacha, tat achintasya lakshanam. The state of achintya cannot be ascertained by argument. All right, achintya means spiritual nature. Cannot be ascertained by argument. Right? You cannot talk about spirituality in true argument. It is that which is beyond the 24 element of material nature. Is beyond the 24 element material nature. And what are the 24 element? Can anyone tell me? What is the 24 element?
The gross elements.
Okay.
And then
Five.
the senses, 15 senses, bro.
15 senses. What are they? What are the 15 senses?
Working senses.
Very good.
Knowledge acquiring senses.
Good.
And your subtle nature, Prabhu. Intelligence, soul, and...
No, 5 senses, Prabhu.
Your 5 senses of feeling, touching, and all that, Prabhu.
Yes. Yes. First is the material nature, the 5 nature, Mahabhuta, and knowledge acquiring senses,
working senses,
and the senses.
Yeah, bro.
So all in 20, right?
20.
Yes. Okay. Then what is that extra for?
Your subtle senses.
Okay. What is that?
Intelligence, mind, and false ego.
Okay. Then what is that 4th one?
They say it is the soul, and the other one they say, some say it's a super soul also, we can include.
No, that is spiritual already, Prabhu. We are talking about material senses.
Then only 3 I know, Prabhu. Mind, intelligence, and false ego.
All right. So that means total 23, right?
Yeah, Prabhu.
The 4th one is Pradhana.
Oh, Pradhana.
Pradhana means the material nature, the mode of nature.
Unmanifested material nature.
Exactly. Unmanifested material nature. That means we can go into mode of goodness, passion, ignorance, Pradhana. So there are total of 24 elements, right? So this is achintya, cannot be ascertained by argument. Just by arguing or debating, you cannot ascertain, you cannot understand, which is beyond the 24 element of material nature. There is no entrance for pratyaksha and anumana in that state. All right? What is anumana? Can anyone recall? Anumana means what? Anumana means hypothetical understanding. Yes, Prabhu, you're saying something?
You assume something and start arguing on that.
Exactly. Hypothetical, sorry, not hypoethical, hypothetical. I was telling hypoethical, wrong word. Hypothetical understanding. Hypothetical means like theory. Okay, like theory. All right, this is the theory. Oh, I'm doing this hypothetical. All right, this is like theoretical. Okay. Even in Tamil also we call Anumana. Anumanathala pesada. Anumanathala endha vishayamum seiyada. Therinji sei. Yeah, senja Anumanathala senja. Or through some kind of speculation. So that means there's no entrance of pratyaksha and Anumana in that state. You cannot be hypothetical. That means this thing, and also cannot be direct perceived. So in order to know the inconceivable nature, right? In order to understand the nature of spiritual nature, inconceivable, which cannot be understood, self-realization is the only means, right? We have to have self-realization, and self-realization is almost impossible for ordinary people. So for ordinary people, self-realization is almost impossible. Seeing people's terrible madness, seeing people's terrible madness, people are going mad. The most merciful Supreme Lord manifests the Vedic literature. Now we understand why the Vedas has been created, why the Vedas has been documented. Before this, the Veda was spoken. When Guru speaks, the student take it. But now they have documented the Vedas, right? Sometimes documentation, because they don't want to lose it. They filed up, in other words. So that the most merciful Supreme Lord Sri Krishna came in his Saktivesh avatar in the form of Vyasadeva. He took all that, what they call the Vedas which are spoken, what is the term they use? Sabda. That means in English, what they call? The Vedas that is spoken, orally spoken, orally understood. The Vedas, he compiled it and he became huge. So because he's so huge, he made into 4 division. 4 division, right? Because he said one whole thing is big. So he make it into 4 division. Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva. Right? So Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda, the 4th Veda, which is sometimes in Bhagavad Gita, we see the 3 Vedas. Krishna will be talking about 3 Vedas. So, but we understand, suppose before, why he's talking about 3? Because the last Veda, Atharva Veda, is like etc. You know, sometimes in English we write, if you want to do this, you make sure you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you take your bath, etc. 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 means, in Malay we call done line. That means to go on. You understand what is that? Done line means you understand. Are you all understand my point? Or etc. So Atharva Veda is etc. So all the Rig, Yajur, Sama, the others, that whatever left over, it put into Atharva Veda. Thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying. If don't, please unmute and ask. Okay, someone understood. Good. Others?
Okay,
good. All right, so Atharva Veda is the others. Then what he did, Vyasa, he gave to his 4 principal disciples. Jaimini, then Vedavyas, then he gave to
Roma
Harsana, then another one is Patanjali. Right? So he gave that Vedas to 4 of his disciples. And they created the parampara from that disciple. Right? That they created. So when the Veda was given to the disciple, what the disciple did, they divide the Vedas into 4 again. They went and, because everything is like all mixed up, so they went and filed up accordingly. So what they filed up, one is Brahmanas, Aranyaka, Upanishad, and Sanghita. They divided into 4, right? So Brahmanas, Aranyakas is all the rituals. What are the Brahmanical rituals they supposed to do when they want to achieve this? Okay, what is the form of yagya, right? Then Aranyaka, the ritualistic process of life, daily life and everything. Then Ishopanishad, Upanishad. Upanishad means direct instruction. Sanghita, spoken. All right. They give commentary. So like that, it's divided into 4. Right. So take one part. Okay, when you look at Yajurveda, Yajurveda got 2 divisions, Shukla and Krishna. Shukla and Krishna. Shukla Paksha, Krishna Paksha. Shukla Paksha is where yesterday we read this, what they call Ekadasi thing, right? Shukla Paksha. Shukla Paksha means during the waning moon. That means going towards full moon, going towards Paurnami. Valarprai. In Tamil, we call Valarprai. They call Shukla. Then second is Krishna Paksha. Krishna Paksha means going towards dark moon or Amavasya. In Tamil, we call Teipirai. Valarpirai, Teipirai. Correct? So, the Ishopanishad that we study, okay, Ishavashya. Alright? So, there's Ishopanishad, we say, but the, what they call, what do you call this? What is this? Sri Vaishnava call it is Ishavashya Upanishad. Alright, we call Ishopanishad. In Gaudiya, we call Ishopanishad. The what they call the Sri Vaishnavas called Ishavashya Upanishad. So this Upanishad, it comes, Ishopanishad is under Shukla Paksha or the light part. That means it's like what they call the light part of that Yajurveda. So like that. Okay. So it's divided into further, and there's a huge collection. There's so much of commentary, so much of this. So okay, 108 Upanishad is there. 108 Puranas is there. 108 Puranas, and that 108 Puranas, the principle is 18 Puranas, 6 times 3. And that 18 Puranas is divided into 3: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Right? And among all the Puranas, Skanda Purana is the biggest. Right? Followed by Padma Puran. Like that, there's so many Puranas are there. So like that, that's huge. But unfortunately, during the invasion, the Mughal, the Islamic invasion, and also then after that, the Christian invasion of India, Bharat, 80-90%, 90-95% of this entire, no, I think 70%, 70% of this entire thing were destroyed or hidden or lost. The only surviving part is that what we are having. So for that, so then out of all these things that have been disappeared, have lost, okay, like Brahma Samhita. When you talk of Brahma Samhita, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself only found chapter 5. The entire Brahma Samhita disappeared. He only found chapter 5. When he went to Adi Keshava temple in Tirunelveli, South India, he heard them singing, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchid Ananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Pragara Satmasu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshavrite Susuravira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Sadasa Brahma Sevamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. No, Alola Chandrakala. Then you say, oh, very nice. Then you find, what is that? Oh, this is Brahma Samhita. Can I have it? Because those days they don't give you. So Lord Chaitanya copied personally the book. He wrote, he copied, then he brought back. Alright? So like that, the entire things disappeared. Only 1 or 2 survived. Alright? So that's the thing. So that means, what is the thing? Because seeing people in terrible madness, the most merciful Supreme Lord manifests the Vedic literature. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, right? Madhya Leela, chapter 20, text 122, 124, 125. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have said this. He said personally, Maya Mugdo Jivero Nahi Svata Krishna Jnana Jivera Kripaya Koilo Krishna Veda Puran Veda Shastra Kohe Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana Krishna Prapya Sambandha Bhakti Prapyera Sadhana Abhideya Nama Bhakti Prema Prayojana Purushartha Shiromani Prema Mahadana. the conditioned soul cannot revive Krishna conscious by his own effort. Mark this word, please underline. The conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna conscious by his own effort. But out of causeless mercy of Lord Krishna, who compiled the Vedic literature and its supplement, the Puranas, right? Okay. So that means, but out of causeless mercy, Lord Krishna compiled the Vedic literature and also its supplement, like the Puranas. The Vedic literature gave information about the living entity's eternal relationship with Krishna. Right? So, the Vedic literature gives information. What information you get from the intrinsic? That the living entity's eternal relationship. It gives your eternal relationship with Krishna. Right? Which is called Sambandha. Sambandham. In Tamil, we call Sambandham. Sambandham. That means great relationship. So that means we have our eternal relationship with Krishna. And that is called Sambandha. All right. Thinking about it, suddenly I reflect this idea. All right. After this, just go for a short break, then we continue. The idea is like this. Any one of you have seen Volachudi? They call Nadi astrology, Nadi Josium. Any one of you have seen Nadi Josium? Anyone? None of you. Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhu.
No one have seen Nadi Josium. Oh, okay. All right. See, Nadi Josium, it is something that you put your thumbprint. You take a thumbprint and put it on it, and they will look in all that, what they call the leaves. All right. They just check, and suddenly they can find you. Have you heard about it?
Yes, Prabhu.
You have heard about it, huh? So when you look at Nadi Josium, the Nadi Josium is something like you put your thumbprint and they check, and they will start to speak about your district, right? Because once I did that, once I checked my Nadi Josium, and immediately the person, he opened up, that was many years ago. I remember when I was young, before I got married, they predicted the wife I'm going to get married. They predicted my life. And the best thing is they accurately told my mother's name, my father's name, and I'm the eldest. I'm considered second actually because I got an elder brother who didn't make it. Then I got two younger sisters, and what they are studying, A to Z, they spoke about me. Nobody have experienced that, right? You have heard about it, right? Nadi Joshi.
Yes, we heard, but we haven't gone through that, Prabhu.
We've gone through that. Huh? So what we can understand from that, of course, Nadi Josium nowadays is gone. Because now they became too commercialized. The last I heard from one devotee, do you all know this Prabhu called Narasingha Prabhu from Penang? Anyone knows Narasingha Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Narasingha Prabhu told me, he went and checked his Nadi Josium, and in that Nadi Josium, they predicted, in fact, he said, who is Guru? He said, you are born in this is your real name, I think Nataraja or something like that, and your spiritual master is Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj, and your initiated name is Narasingha. He got shocked.
But Prabhu, Nadi Josium is your pulse, looking at your pulse, Prabhu.
Exactly. No, what I'm trying to tell you, no, they can somehow or other see your past and also can predict your future.
No, usually they come and take your pulse, and then they tell you you're pregnant or you got fever.
Your thumbprint.
Oh, okay.
They take your thumbprint.
Okay.
Right? Then after that, they check. And in fact, they also can tell you at what muhurta, at what day that you're going to see. That's perfect. But of course, now, because of commercialized, everything is gone. All right. Now you cannot trust them. Anyway, as we are devotee. All right. Anyway, so why I'm telling you this thing is not to promote Nadi Josium, but I'm saying that we are all our record is in this Vedic, because Nadi Jyotish astrology is part of the Vedic knowledge. So that means we are all under, all our records are there in the Vedic literatures, in the Vedic world. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. What I'm trying to tell you, all our information are there. So that means we are not a random person. Krishna have already, that means all our record, that means when once we fall down, just like the jail recorder, Padita Tarna, he murdered someone, now he's sentenced to jail 10 years, 20 years. You know, all our records are there, right? How many births we have taken, how we're going to be born, how everything is there. But now by the mercy of Krishna and by the mercy of our Acharyas, spiritual master, we got a shortcut towards to go back home, back to God. And we are very lucky with that. You know? So suddenly I just reflected on that. So you all understand what I'm saying? You all understand my point? Who don't understand my point? So that means we have our records there in Nadi Jyotish and all these things. So we got a fantastic shortcut to go back home, back to God. In fact, during my Nadi Jyotish, they also predicted exactly the day that my father will die. Right? It happened. Right? Then after that, he went further. Then after that, he said, you go into this life, spiritual life, in order to reduce that dosam. I said, what dosam? Go into spiritual life, dosam for you. I said, yes, you have to do. I said, no need. I want that. Anyway, going out of the topic. So now it's 10:08. We just take a short break, 2 or 3 minutes. Then we continue. Hare Krishna. All right. The question about where to see Nadi Jyotish and being curious to see Nadi Jyotish and all this. Let me tell you one thing. I have done last time. It's part of my research. I like to do a lot of research, and I went deep into this astrology. I mean, not deep, also curious. But let me assure you one thing. Ultimately, we will die. The death is guaranteed. Okay? And Krishna says, at what conscious a person dies, that is going to be his next birth. The death is a very painful process for a karmi. For devotee, death is exciting because they are going back home, back to Godhead. It is just like packing your bag after your university degree, you're done, you're coming out of the hostel, you're coming back home for good. You know how excited that we all may be, right? Packing the bags, can't wait to go back home, right? It's just like that. And at what conscious a person dies, that will be the next birth. So how to keep up the consciousness is what we are studying now. Bhaktiyaloka, Nectar of Instruction, Upadesha Amrita, Madhurya Kadambini, and all these things are all trying to tell you how to keep your conscious state. But still, if you fail to do so, Lord Shiva guarantees you, he will come and chant the holy name and remind you of this bhakti, of this, he give you the remembrance. So, what is the point of seeing all these Nadi Jyotish and all these things? Not necessary, right? Because the problem is there is no perfect people who can do it now. Now it's all fully commercialized. If you want to go to Nadi Jyotish, it costs you so much of money, right? It costs you so much of money. The place usually you see is in Chidambaram, South India, right? But nowadays, since everything became very commercialized, right? They will speak something that will tell you, okay, it's just like you're looking at your facial expression. All right, example, okay, who should I take as example? Okay, now, okay, like Kesavan, say Kesavan, I'm looking at Kesavan's face. No, I know Kesavan is having some trouble. Example, this is example. Kesavan having some trouble. He's coming to me. Then I know, this guy is in trouble. Kesavan, your life. You know, you are this thing, you're that. What are you doing, Kesavan, for living? Oh, I'm a businessman. Okay, Kesavan, a big problem going to come to business. Oh, really? Then I can see the expression. He seems to be shocked. Some big trouble going to come to your business. Right? Then after I see the trouble, I know already, okay. But it can be overcome. How? You do this kind of ritual. All right. Now for this ritual, you pay me 10,000 ringgit. I will do some special prayer for you. I will take some copper plate. I do some jibumba there, everything. So you can put it in your business. You start to see a big transformation happening in your business. All right. Is there any other way? So far, Kesavan, as a professional astrologer, I don't see anything other than this. Finish. So I start to take Kesavan's decision. So then after that, Kesavan will get hooked to me. Every decision he's going to make, he will ask me, Padita Tarana Prabhu, I want to go for this tender. How? Let me see. I'll get back to you. You want to go for this tender? Okay, you need to do this prayer, Okay, I give you some, I take some black ink, mai. I'll do some jibumba. You apply on your forehead. You go there, sure, you're going to get business. And for all of your information, this is my personal experience. Whenever I want to go for business, whenever I want to go for some kind of important thing, I go and look for this, for this kind of occult practitioner and try to get some mai and all these things, put it on my face and go there and get business. No business. Until one day, suddenly my conscience start to tell me, did Bill Gates did this? Did Ananda Krishnan did this? Vincent Tan did all these great millionaires or billionaires. Do they apply some black ink on your this thing, or do some jibumba and all these kind of things, or go and see the astrologer? No. When the opportunity comes, grasp it. And in order to understand the opportunity, you have to have intelligence. And how to get the intelligence? You have to follow a mentor. Simple as that. The same thing we're going to apply in spiritual life. So what is our goal? When we are studying this Bhaktiyaloka, our goal is to go back home, back to Godhead, go back to eternity. We don't want to have any more karma kanda. We don't want to get stuck in this material world anymore. So, and what is the thing you should do? Follow the previous Acharya. And follow Bhagavad Gita 100%. Your life will be very successful. Number 1, chapter 2, you are not this body, self-realization. Number 3, how you should practice. All right? Karma yoga. Do your things and don't expect any result. Number 4, divine knowledge. Right? And get some divinity in you. That means you are not an ordinary person. You are a divine. You are part of Krishna. But you are not Krishna. Sachit Ananda Vigraha. Right? I am also Sachit Ananda Vigraha. Krishna also Sachit Ananda Vigraha. But what is the difference? I'm minute and he's big. What is the example? Just like a drop of sea water in the vast ocean. Both are salty. Quality same, but quantity is different. So my natural tendency, if as a drop of sea water, I cannot achieve any happiness. I cannot go into a river and be happy. Cannot, because river water is what is the taste of the water? Turpa. No, it's a watery taste, right? The taste is different, right? You say, okay, I cannot go into a well, join with the well water. I won't be happy. The only natural place I can be happy is with the ocean, because that is my nature. Just like a spark and the fire, the spark can never be happy in any other place other than within the fire. Similarly, we are part and parcel of Krishna, and we can be only happy if we are with Krishna by understanding our constitutional position. Okay, I hope I've convinced you. The person who asked me a question privately, and also Sadguna Mataji, let me assure you, this kind of Nadi Josium and all these things are not necessary at all. All right? Because curiosity kills the cat, There's an English term, curiosity kills the cat. Being curious, you're going to get stuck in all these kind of nonsense things. After all, the death is going to come. And how are we getting prepared to face the death? Are we going to come back here again? Or am I going back home, back to Godhead? Or am I going to prepare myself to be born into a family of Vaishnava Acharyas and to become a pure devotee? That is what our goal is. All right? Okay. So why I studied the idea triggered to me about this Nadi Josium is to tell you that we are also, all our records are there. right? In the Veda. So that means this is complete, right? That's my idea. All right. All right. Now let's go back to the point. Anyway. Okay. So the Vedic literature gives information about the living, giving the living entities eternal relationship with Krishna. So the Vedic literature, right? The Vedic literature gives information about the living entities eternal relationship. And this is called as Sambandha. This is called Sambandha. The living entities understanding of this relationship and acting accordingly is called Abhideya. You got it? Are you all following me this? That means when we talk about, yes, right now, when you see here, the Vedic literature gives information about the living entity. Now you're getting information about yourself. About what? About your eternal relationship. Eternal relationship with Krishna. And that is called Sambandha. Please underline all these words. You got it? Now, the living entity's understanding of this relationship. That means you, first of all, you understand that you have a Sambandha relationship with Krishna. The Vedic literature tell you, hey, you Padita Tarna, Vivan, Kesavan, you have an eternal relationship with Krishna. Okay? Then what you do, Kesavan, Vivan, and Sadguna, what you all do, okay? You understand the relationship. Oh, I have to understand, I have the relationship. How? You do your research and you found your relationship. You start to understand your relationship. After you understand your relationship, that you are part of Krishna and you have an eternal relationship with him, and you act accordingly. That means you start to worship him. You start to follow the regulations. All right. Why did I fall here in this material world? Why? I made a grievous mistake of wants to become an enjoyer, of become envious of Krishna. Now I realized it. So now I have to rectify all my mistakes. So what am I supposed to do now? Right? I have thrown into this material condition of life. In this material condition of life. And this material condition of life is full of rubbish. Right? I got so much of rubbish. You know? And that rubbish is so much intense until I've been, as though that I drown in a rubbish pit. Imagine the place where they throw the rubbish, all the DBI, the Dewan Bandaraya, whatever they go throw, the place, they call, what place is that? What is the place they call that? The place where they throw the rubbish. Pusat Pelupusan Sampah. In English, what they call? Okay, you all understand what I'm saying?
Incineration.
Huh?
Incineration place.
I can't hear you.
The place that we incinerate the rubbish.
Not incinerate. The place where they throw the rubbish, you know, the piles of rubbish. You go near, so you pingsan, you know, you'll faint.
Okay.
You all understand? You all understand what I'm saying? Please thumbs up. If you don't understand, I want to say, repeat again. I want you to understand the analogy. Okay, great. So the place where all the rubbish collected from the city are thrown in, kept in one place. That place is extremely smelly, and people cannot tolerate. And in fact, you can have a throat pain and your nose all, you can fall sick. And imagine you are drowning in that. You know, our senses are full of nasty things, full of rubbish. So what is the first thing you have to do? When you're going to struggle to come out, you're going to suffer further. So we're going to clean it step by step. So you take an action accordingly. So how are we going to do it? Number one, by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Because we have read in the last chapter, right? Atyahara. Is it Laulyam? Under Laulyam, what we have read, he says, first using the senses, we have to purify our mind. And through the purification of the mind, the intelligence is purified. So when the intelligence is purified, everything is purified. The mind, the false ego, all these things purified. So that's a process of purification. So I'm acting on it. I'm taking up, I'm chanting, I'm doing slowly, I'm acting on it. So that means first I understand my relationship and I act on it for the purification thing, and that is called abhideya. Are you all following me on this? Take note. If you can even write in your book, if you have photocopied one place and one place empty or whatever, just make a small note, right? Try to understand this. So abhideya means acting on sambandha. All good? Rusan Mataji, do you got it? Yes and no. So which is yes, which one is no? Which one you get it, which one you don't get it? Because you are the benchmark. If you can understand, I assume everyone will understand.
Because the whole thing, it's too much these Sanskrit words. So the Sanskrit words cannot come in sometimes.
No, doesn't matter. But do you know what is sambandha means?
Not really.
Okay, great, no problem. So okay, now let me highlight this word here. Okay, let me take out this word sambandha. Okay. Okay, now let's look at this word sambandha. Okay, the word sambandha. Okay, let me get. All right, let's take this word. Oh my God, how is this coming like this? Just give me a second. So now, okay, let me take out the word sambandha here, right? Sambandha means eternal relationship. Okay, you got this, Mataji? You understand this eternal relationship?
Yeah. This
So
one,
your
yeah.
eternal, that you are part of Krishna and you have a relationship with Krishna. Okay, so far so good.
Yes, very good.
Right. Okay, now let's look at this word abhideya. Abhideya. So what is abhideya means? Abhideya means acting on that relationship. Acting on that relationship. Okay. So acting on that relationship, or in other words, we are talking about building that relationship. You got it? Okay, I give you another analogy like this. First, you fall in love with a man, right? And you find that man is my soulmate. Okay, Mataji? Are you with me?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So that means you fall in love with a man, and you realize that man is your soulmate. That's when you found your relationship. That's called sambandha. The first word here, sambandha. Okay, the word sambandha means you are falling in love with a man and you realize your relationship. After you fall in love, what do? You are going on a date and you are building your relationship. That means acting on that relationship. That means you're building the relationship. You're getting to know him better. You're getting to understand him better. So what happened? You are deepening your relationship. You got it, Mataji? And that is called abhideya.
Okay.
Okay. So what you need to understand is only this. My eternal relationship with Krishna, and I am building my relationship with Krishna. That's it. No need to worry about this Sanskrit term. Okay.
Okay, Babu.
Okay. Everyone got it? Okay. Now, okay. Now let's look at this. Okay. So that means first I realized my eternal relationship with Krishna, which is called Sambandha or eternal relationship. Then after that, I understand this relationship and I'm acting on it. It is called Abhideya. Okay. Now, the next word, returning home back to Godhead. Going back home back to Godhead is the ultimate goal of life. Right? Just now I was telling you, no need to worry about all the astrology, Nadi, Josimon, because we have an ultimate goal of going back home back to God. And that is called Prayojana. Okay? That is called Prayojana. Okay? So what we have seen, first, number one, we spoke about Sambandha. Okay? Then second, we spoke about Abhideya. And number three, we talk about Prayojana. So this is the three principle Lord Chaitanya says, you must know first. You must understand these three things. And these three got 10 principle already. Okay, all that we don't need to worry first. Now we understand. What is the three things that Lord Chaitanya wants us to know? First of all, my relationship with Krishna is Sambandha. And acting on that relationship is called Abhideya. After acting on that relationship, once your your understanding becomes more deepened, then you set your goal of going back home, back to Godhead, is called Prayojana. Everyone? What do you call Rusan Mataji? You got idea? Wow, I like the sound.
The sun is
Oh,
not-
that's the thing. So I take Rusan Mataji as a benchmark. You know, when you want to check the rice is cooked, you just take one rice. So if Rusan Mataji understand, I assume everyone understand. But of course, assumption is mother of all presumption. Please stop me and ask question. Don't miss the opportunity. We are going very slow. We are going very deep because there is high chance of 90 to 99.9999% you will never come back to this book, including me. I also may not come back to this book. So once and for all, try to go into these deep studies. All good? Come on, say something. Oh, we're putting thumbs up. Huh? All right. All right. So, okay. Now we understand this. Okay. Now we understand why Lord Chaitanya says Sambandha, your eternal relationship. Abhideya, acting on that relationship. And what is my goal? Going back home, back to Godhead is my goal. And that word goal of going back, ultimate goal, we call Prayojana. So, devotional service. All right. Devotional service or sense activity for the satisfaction of the Lord. All glories to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Pujapat Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Just see how nicely he put these words. Can you imagine? Right? How nicely he put this word so that we can go deep into that. Number one, we are always talking about devotional service. So what is the devotional service? Please underline, write it somewhere. Keep it with you. When people ask you, what is devotional service? So the devotional service means sense activity. What is a sense activity? Using our senses, our eyes, our nose, our tongue, and all these 5 senses, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, and 3 subtle senses. All these things are sense activity. So devotional service means sense activity for the satisfaction of the Lord. Look at that. Hari Bol. Are you all following me? Please don't put thumbs up because now I cannot see a thumbs up. Please unmute and say yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
All right. So that means the devotional service means sense activity for the satisfaction of the Lord. And this is called Abhideya. And this is called Abhideya. That means that means why we are acting in relationship in deepening our relationship with Krishna. Acting on the relationship acting on the relationship. Okay, we call Abhideya, right? So that means we are using our senses. How are we going to perform this thing? Oh, that means I am the soul inside. So let me connect with that soul through my internal self. No. We don't follow this kind of practice. We are simply utilizing our senses, material senses, to serve that ultimate sense of Krishna. And Krishna is known as Rishikesha. Rishikesha means the master of senses. Okay, and that is called Abhideya. Okay, now you understand? Use the senses to serve for the satisfaction of the Lord is called Abhideya. Because what? Because it can develop one's original love of Godhead. Wonderful. It can develop one's original love. That means what? Our original love is to love God. It develops one's original love. That means all that love, other than that, it's only perverted love. I love my country. I love my family. I love this. All this is just the opposite of the ultimate love, the original love. Okay? Because it can develop the original love of Godhead, which is the goal of life. Okay? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is continuing. This goal is the living entity's topmost interest. It is the topmost interest. Then he also say that this is also the greatest wealth. Right? Is it too dark? Can you all see that word? Can you see the highlight? Is it too dark? Huh? Right, now I use this thing because I want to make it okay. Now, this is called the greatest wealth. All right. So the goal of living entity's topmost interest, all right, and this is the goal of the topmost, and it's the greatest wealth. And after that, Krishna also, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is continuing. Thus, one attains the platform of transcendental loving service unto the Lord. Right? Okay. So that means this is what is said by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, sorry, Bhaktivinoda Thakur translate, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Maya Mugda Jivera Nahi Svata Krishna Jnana Jivera Kripaya Kaila Krishna Veda Purana. Krishna, because out of causeless mercy, Krishna created the Vedas and the Puranas. Veda Sastra Kohe Sambandha. In Veda Sastra, we understand our Sambandha. That means our eternal relationship with Krishna. Abhideya, how to build that relationship. And ultimately, Prayojana. That means we want to achieve, going back. And Prayojana, Krishna, Prapya Sambandha, Bhakti Praptyera Sadhana. So by this thing, by achieving Krishna is the topmost goal. Sadhana, Praptyera, Praptam. They call Praptam or blessings. So Krishna, Prapya Sambandha. So through that Prapya Sambandha, Bhakti Praptyera Sadhana. Abhideya Nama. The word Abhideya is Bhakti that creates Prema. And through that Prema, we achieve Prayojana. Prayojana means back home. Right? Then Purushartha Shironmani Prema Mahadana. So that's supposed to be our greatest wealth. Mahadana. Dana means wealth. You know, in Malay also we call Dana, right? D-A-N-A. Dana Matawang. Dana means wealth. So, but what Chaitanya Purushartha Shironmani Prema, the love of Godhead. Purushartha, that means the supreme. Purushartha means the supreme personality. Shironmani, relationship, Prema. To have a relationship of going back to Prema, create that love of Godhead. Shironmani Prema is Mahadana. He is the supreme wealth. Right? So this is what, all right? Mahadana, right? So this is what we have now. We have things. Now let's look at the purpose. To know the inconceivable nature. To know the inconceivable nature. What is inconceivable nature? The spiritual nature. The Vedic authority alone should be accepted. We only should accept only one, the Vedic authority. Right? There is one other consideration to this regard. There's one other consideration in this regard. The Vedic knowledge received through Parambara is called Amanaya. Right? So that means we understand that Vedic authorities alone should be accepted. Okay. But there's also one consideration. Yes, the Vedic subject is the only one that we should accept. But there's one consideration. And what is that consideration? The Vedic knowledge which is only received through the Guru Parambara is called Amnaya. Amanaya. Amnaya. Right? I hope I'm pronouncing Amnaya. All right. So that means the Vedic literature that is it. That means the Vedic literature that says that comes to us is specific. We are not a random person. Right? So that means, in other words, you are the, when you go to the bus station or you go to the airport, you see there's thousands of flights are there, hundreds of flights. You can see in the billboard, these flight, that flight, go to Ho Chi Minh, go to this place, go to Jakarta, go to India, go to China, Hong Kong, Guangzhou, all these places, millions of these. That is called Vedic literature. But now specifically, you want to take a flight. Okay, I want to take a flight to go to Delhi because I would like to go to Maya. I would like to go to Vrindavan. So specifically, right? So then you just see all the billboard, you specifically choose one. Similarly, there is the very conceivable nature. To know the inconceivable nature, I mean, to know the entire spiritual distinct, the Vedic authority should be accepted. If you want to fly to India, you don't go to the bus station. You go to the airport. Because the airport is the conducive place for you to travel overseas. It's not going to the bus station and want to say, go to there, can I have a ticket to Delhi? People think you're crazy. So that means to Vedic knowledge receive. That means it's specifically received through the Guru Parambara is called Amnaya. There are so many subjects in the Vedas. Just like in the billboard, there is so many flights, information. And of course, and there are various instructions for different qualification. There are so many various instructions. And of course, according to different qualification. Among all, now, Bhaktivinoda Thakura is saying, but among all qualification, among all the qualification for devotional service is the topmost, right? Because you want to achieve success. Okay, like for instance, like some of you want to go and see Nadi Josium. It's under the astrology, is part of the Vedic scripture. All right. So, okay, you want to get some instruction about your life, about your age, about your this and that. So you go look for Nadi Josium. Then after that, you want to do some kind of, okay, like for instance, you're getting married. There's a ritual or a ritual of marriage. All right. Where you take that instruction. So like that, there's so many instructions. When a person leaves the body, pass away, what are the rituals? So like that, there's so many instructions are there. You want to do this, follow the instruction. You want to do this, follow the instruction. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying there's so many instructions from birth to death. But among all these instruction, among all these qualifications, instruction for different qualification, for the qualification for devotional life is the topmost. What is a qualification? So I want to, okay, now I want to make it big in life. I want to be a businessman. I want to qualify myself. So I take this instruction. I want to do this. I take this instruction. But here, Krishna says, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, but the topmost qualification is to become a pure devotee of the Lord. And in order to achieve that qualification, devotional life is the topmost of all qualification. Okay? By the strength of their devotion, by the strength of their devotional service, all the previous Mahajans have awakened to self-realization. So that means, now we understand, in order to achieve success, we have to have self-realization. And how that self-realization comes? Through the qualification in devotional service. All right? All the previous Mahajans. Mahajans means what? All the great Acharyas have awakened to self-realization. Awaken means what? It was sleeping in your heart. That means you're awakening the sleeping giant. The giant is happily sleeping in your heart. Your spiritual potency is happily sleeping in your heart. Now you awaken it by self-realization. And thereby, separately written instruction regarding the qualifications for devotional service as mentioned in the Vedas. All right? So thereby, they separately written instruction. Awaken to self-realization, and thereby, separately they written instructions regarding the qualifications for devotional service as mentioned in the Vedas. So what we understand from here? So that means, okay, the statement is there. Therefore, the Vedic statement ascertained by the previous Mahajan as relating to the qualification for devotional service are called amnaya, right? And it is necessary to learn them. So that means there are Vedic literatures, and to qualify in devotional service is the topmost. Number one. And this is the method the self-realized souls like Mahajans or the great acharyas, great devotees, the previous great devotees achieve self-realization through that. Then after that, they write down their self-realization. They write down the self-realization. And that means, so they write down the self-realization as relating to the qualification for devotional. All right. So they are writing, like now we are reading Bhaktiyaloka. Then Bhaktiyaloka, we are reading that the self-realization of Bhaktivinoda. So this process of understanding and learning the self-realization from previous acharya is called amnaya. Now you understand the word amnaya, right? This is the word is called amnaya. That means by learning through the previous qualification. And this is called, it is necessary to learn them, right? Sometimes you say, I don't learn all this job of acharyas. I just go and study Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita. No, sometimes we have to read. That's why we want to read Ishopanishad. We want to read this Nectar of Instruction. Upadesha Mrta. By this, no, they call the Nectar of Devotion. All this because we want to understand their realization. So that's why they're quoting from all the Vedas to prove their point. That's why they call this as a thesis. So, that's it. It is impossible to enter into the inconceivable nature. It is not possible to enter into inconceivable, the spiritual nature, without receiving the full mercy of spiritual master. So without the mercy of spiritual master, it is not possible. Right? So what we should think now, we should be also considering of accepting a spiritual master. We cannot go on being a non-spiritual master devotees. Of course, we have Srila Prabhupada as our founder Acharya, as an instructing spiritual master. So we have to improve ourselves. We have to upgrade ourselves. That we should have a direct relationship, sambandha, not only with Krishna, but also with a pure devotee. Right? Pure devotee. Example like this. There's so many women around us, around me, example. But I have one specific woman as my wife. There's many ladies around me, but I have one lady as specifically as my wife. So there are so many spiritual preceptors around us, but you must have one person specifically as your spiritual master, who is going to have a personal relationship with you, birth after birth. So considering a spiritual master, from what we have understood from this verse, from this statement, it is very important and it's very vital. In order to accept a spiritual master, what are the rules? Very simple. You need to follow the 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. This is the 4 pillars of sin. Then you have to chant 16 rounds daily. Right? So when you could do these 2 things, you can be initiated into spiritual life. Right? By the mercy of spiritual master, that's when maybe your attentive chanting, your attention and understanding of the Sastra will become even more deeper. So where to choose your spiritual master? It depends on your personal attraction. Who do you like? As an example, another nonsense, example I can give you. There are so many ladies around me, but I'm specifically attracted to my wife. That's why I married her. Just like that. There are so many devotees around you. Specifically, you can be attracted to one particular person, and you have to surrender your life and soul unto that person's lotus feet. Right? So in ISKCON, we have so many gurus, especially we have this guru that always visit Malaysia. We have what they call His Holiness Bhakti Vikna Vinasa Narasingha Swami. Right? We have this Bhakti Chaitanya Swami. We have so far these 2. Then we have Janananda Goswami. Janananda Goswami also visits Malaysia. He's our spiritual master of Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu. So all these devotees are coming. Okay, you also I can accept from Jayapataka Swami, my spiritual master, right? I'm under Jayapataka Swami, Guru Maharaj, but of course he's not traveling to Malaysia very often. But you want to have a distinct. But anyway, gurus are all equal. But first of all, you must sit for this exam. You have to attend the class called Guru Disciple course. All right, you have to sign up for the Guru Disciple course to understand Guru Tattva. Despite there is so many gurus like Bhakti Vinasa Narasimha Swami, His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, His Holiness Janananda Swami, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, are they all separated or are they equal? This is the understanding we must first of all get. Because in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, first book, chapter 1, speaks about spiritual master. The entire chapter speaks about spiritual master. There are 3 types of spiritual master. One is your Chaitya Guru, that your super soul, right? Your Paramatma, Chaitya Guru in your heart, that gives you instruction. Second is Siksha Guru. Siksha Guru means the Guru or the devotee that give you instruction, okay, or develop your spiritual life. Number 3 is, we talk about Diksha Guru, a person that you're going to accept Diksha. Diksha Guru can be only one, but you can have many Siksha Guru, okay, and Chaitya Guru in your heart, right? So like that. So we have all these facilities, especially in ISKCON. So if you think you are not there yet, try to develop that love or the goal, because it's impossible to enter into the infinite nature without receiving full mercy of spiritual master. So the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is in regard of this given in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila. Ihate drishtanta yaiche daridrera gare sarvanya asi dukkha deki puchaye tohore. The following example may be given. Once a learned astrologer come to the house of a poor man and seeing the disease condition, questioned him. Now there's a story, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling. That is, Tumi kena duke tomara ache piturdana. Tomare na kohilo anyotra chodilo jivano. Oh, sorry. Oh, Krishna. Where is it gone? Right. So the astrologer asked, why are you unhappy? Your father was very wealthy, but he did not disclose the wealth to you because he died elsewhere. The astrologer said. That means, in other words, it's a story Krishna is telling, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling. First, he went to a very poor man's house. He said, why are you so unhappy? Your father very rich, but the problem, he died somewhere. He didn't tell you where the wealth is. So he did not disclose the wealth to you because he died elsewhere. Then after that, he continues. Sarvanyera vakye kore danera uddeshe aiche veda purana jiva krishna upadeshe. Just as the words of astrologer Sarvanya gave news to the poor man's treasure. Just like the story about the astrologer gives the poor man the story for the treasure. So Vedic literature advises one about Krishna. So that means the Vedic literature advises one about Krishna consciousness. And when one is inquisitive to know why he's in distress, okay, when you give advice of Krishna consciousness, when one is inquisitive to know why he's in distressed material condition. When, the word when. Okay, just like the astrologer come and tell you, you're so distressed, you don't have money, but your father has got something. Similarly, the Vedic literature come and say, why are you so distressed? Right? There is things, okay? It advises about Krishna. When one is inquisitive, when one is wondering, want to know why I am suffering. Then let's continue. Sarvanyera vakye muladana anubandho sarvo shastre upadesho Sri Krishna sambandho. By the words of astrologer, the poor man's connection with the treasure was established. Okay, the poor man's connection with the treasure was established. So similarly, Vedic literature advises us that our real goal, our real connection is with Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. Are you all following me this story? Because I can't see anyone. Just say yes, no.
Yes, Prabhu.
All right, you understand what I'm saying, eh?
Yes, perfect.
Yes, Prabhu.
All right, great. So that means he said, okay, that means just like the poor man get connected with the treasure. You say, I'm such a poor man. Do I have that treasure? did my father really kept that pot of gold? Yes. Oh. Then we start to realize, that means I am not actually a poor man. I am in ignorance because I don't know where my father hide the pot. Like similarly, so the Vedic literature advises that our real connection, I'm in distress, suffering. Huh? But our real connected with Krishna. Do I have relationship with Krishna? Oh, really? And Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So we understand all this from Vedic literature. Bapira dana ache, jnana dana nahi pai, tobing sarvanya kohi tore, praptiro upayo. Although being assured of his father's treasure, although now that poor man assured of his father's treasure, the poor man cannot acquire this treasure by such knowledge alone. That means just by understanding my father hide the treasure somewhere, just by knowing that, I cannot get the treasure. Therefore, the astrologer had to inform him of the means. So the astrologer tell him how to go and get the treasure. Inform him the means where he could actually find the treasure. Okay? Just by knowing, cannot. But the astrologer, now I tell you where your father hide the treasure. Then, Estone Orchidon, Yodi Dakshina Kudibe, Bimarulo Barul Uttibe, Dono no Poibe. The astrologer said, the treasure is in this place. But if you dig towards the south side, the wasp means what? Wasp means, I think the bee, right? Oh, no, what they call the red ant, the dangerous ant. And drones will rise. All right? Wasp is what? Is it ant or bee? I think bee is a kind of leba, bee. Okay, when you go and dig in the southern side, the bee will and drones will rise. And you will not get the treasure. You understand what I mean? So that means you go and dig the side, the bee will come out and will attack you. And you can never get it. Then, postime kudibe, kaho yaksha ek kahoy, se vikna karibe, dana hota no padoi. If you dig on the western side, there is a ghost who will create such disturbance that your hands will not even touch the treasure. Where? If you dig in the western side. Then, Uttare means Uttara. Uttara means north. Uttare kudile, oche Krishna ajagore, dana nahi pobe, kudite gilive sabore. If you dig on the northern side, there's a big black snake that will devour you, will eat you up if you attempt to dig up the treasure. Really? Go to the north, wasp. Go to the east, wasp, then south. Then everywhere. Go to the west, now got snake. Right? West is ghost. Then north side got big snake. All right? But after that, he says, Purvatike ta tote mati alpa kudite danera jori padibeka tomara hatete. However, if you dig up a small quantity of dirt in the eastern side, your hands will immediately touch the pot of treasure. So that means if you go to all these places, if you go to the eastern side, you touch, you can get your treasure. You go to that side, there's a ghost. You go to that side, there's a wasp. You go to this side, got a snake. But you go to east, you can find the treasure. Achire Sastra kohe, karma jnana yogi tyaji, bhakti Krishna vasa hoy, bhakti tonre vaji. So that means Achi Sastra kohe, that's what the Vedic scripture concluded. Kohe, concluded. Karma, activity, jnana, knowledge, yoga, tyaji. Right, all these things. So that means, in other words, the revealed scripture concluded. The revealed scripture concluded that one should give up fruitive activity, speculative knowledge, and mystic yoga system. Okay? System, and instead take to devotional service by which Krishna can be fully satisfied. In other words, so that means when we go to one part, we dig. When we try to dig for treasure through fruitive activity, we can be attacked by the wasp. If you want to achieve Krishna by digging speculative knowledge, we can be attacked by ghost. Because the ghost will make you faint, ghost will make you go delirious. So speculative knowledge will make you go like cuckoo, like mad. You don't know where you are heading. And after that, you try to go to mystic yoga, it's just like a snake will devour you. But instead of all this, take devotional service. Take a small place which Krishna can be fully satisfied. When a person who desires spiritual perfection, when a person desires for spiritual perfection, here's the conclusions regarding the soul from the spiritual master. The conclusion regarding soul from the spiritual master, then his heart becomes pure, and he proceeds towards lotus feet of Krishna. Therefore, Amnaya is the only authority regarding the goal of life. So what is Amnaya? We understand the conclusion or the instruction of spiritual master. The Vedic literatures are the perfectional goal, but the acharyas who have actually experienced that and they start to give commentary on that, that is called Amnaya. So now Bhaktivinoda Thakur is concluding that all the Vedic literatures are there. Specifically, we need to get Amnaya. Amnaya means the testimony, how the devotee became a devotee just by studying that. An example, just like we are taking the instruction from spiritual master, it is also called Amnaya. So now he says Amnaya is the only authority regarding the goal of life. One should consider that other 9 realities through this authority. That means we should consider there's 9 authority, right? We should consider all the other 9 authority through this one authority. That means we take the instruction of spiritual master and all the previous acharyas, like Upadesha Mrita, Upadesha Mrita, Bhakti Rasa Mrita Sindhu, what is the next book? Madhurya Kadambini, Bhaktiyaloka, all these things are common. Even like Prabhupada, when you read, there's a purport. Don't jump the purport. Read that purport very slowly and concisely. So that is the thing. So by studying and understanding this, utilize this to understand the other 9 principles. And this understanding manifests in the pure heart of the strength of Amnaya. So that means by understanding this, you understand the Vedic literature even more deeper. This is called self-realization. This is called as self-realization, and that is the basis of life's goal. Who don't understand what I say? Oh, there's a question here. Who raised the hand? Someone raised the hand. Oh, women, yes.
Bro, just have a question, bro.
You have to come near the speaker, Vivan. I can't hear you.
Hare Krishna, bro. Can you listen to me, bro?
Yeah.
Bro, one should consider the other 9 realities through this authority. What is the 9 realities is mentioned in this text, bro?
Yeah, that's as we go on, we'll study that.
Okay, bro. Okay, bro.
So
Okay.
that means what is the 9 authorities? Like, okay, who are you? What is the relationship? Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And to achieve that, the instruction of the Vedas, like Bhagavad Gita is all instruction of the Vedas. All these are 9 things. So what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is nicely saying here is very simple. Right? He said that, right? Right. He said that first is, so he said that reveal scripture, okay, conclude. The conclusion of the revealed scripture, one should give up fruitive activity, speculative knowledge, and mystic yoga. It's just like the 3 distinct, but instead take to devotional service. So if in order to devotional service, what are the books on devotional service? There's a lot of books, right? We talk about Bhagavad Gita, talk about Bhagavad, all this, there's a lot of scriptures are there, right? But what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning here is, that means when a person desires spiritual perfection, here's the conclusion. That means when you hear the conclusion regarding the soul from the spiritual master. So that means he's realizing the soul from the spiritual master means what? The spiritual master, after studying all the things, is giving you a conclusion, right? The personal instruction. And through that, heart becomes pure and he proceeds towards the lotus feet of Krishna. And this is called Amnaya. Yes, Vivan?
Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, just now you are explaining on the stories of the astrologer and a poor man.
Okay.
So, from what I understand, on the Sambandha Abhidaya Priyojana, astrologer established the wealth, the relationship, the poor man's wealth. I mean the wealth He created the sambandha. He instructed the sambandha, and then after that, the poor man go and dig the thing. I mean, the dirt. As
Abhideya.
per instruction of the astrologer, which is the astrologer is looks like for me is like a spiritual master. And then he do the abhideya, he do the work, and then the treasure is the love, prema, love of God, which is prayojana.
What do you call that?
Prayojana.
Prayojana. Very good. Fantastic. Very nice realization.
Is it this understanding is right, Prabhu, or my mental speculation, Prabhu? I just want to clarify that one.
Your mental speculation still related to what Krishna's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction. It's not a mental speculation. It's your understanding. It's very good.
Okay,
You know,
Prabhu.
because here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving an analogy. He's giving a storyline about a situation. Right? So exactly what you said is correct. First, I have lost in wilderness. In this material, I've lost, disappeared somewhere. Right? Then I'm in distress, just like a man lost the wealth. And suddenly a person comes and tell you what he says. He creates a sambandha. Right? He says, hey, actually you're a millionaire, you know? Really, right? Your father hid the wealth somewhere and he died. You don't know where is it? No. Let me tell you where. He creates sambandha. Then after that he says, now the method of doing. You go and dig here, you go and dig there. Don't touch there, there's a wasp there. Don't touch it, there's a ghost there. Don't touch, there's a snake there. You can't do this side, you dig this side. You can find your wealth. Right? So create abhideya, creating the relationship. Then after that, when the person starts digging, the benefit of it, he start to realize prayojana. But the one who instructing, we can understand a spiritual master, but here the understanding is not spiritual master given. I just realized it is the Vedas. So the Vedas is the one giving. So astrology is the Vedas. Because the Vedas is establishing your lost relationship. Okay?
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. After that, what it says, like that, there are so many instructions in the Vedas. So after there's so many instructions, we specifically accepted one Veda, one part that is through our parambara. And in parambara, what are the Vedas that we collected? We study. All right, that's one. Secondly, by following the footstep of these Vedas, all the great devotees achieve perfection. How did they achieve perfection? Which part of the Vedas they pick and choose? Right? So by taking that and giving you in the form of instruction, and that is called Amnaya. So Amnaya means is the purport or the understanding. So what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Amnaya is the only authority regarding the goal of life. So that means even Amnaya is even more sweet and more information in comparison to the entire Vedas. That is why, what is the takeaway that we can take away from here? I mean, I'm reminding myself, the Prabhupada's purport, when you read Prabhupada's purport, you know, after that, Ishvara, Parama Krishna, the purport, there's a purport, right? Translation and purport. And that purport is Amnaya. When we scrutinizingly study the purport of Srila Prabhupada, that is called the perfection. So that means from us trying to like read and this and that, read that purport very scrutinizing. Sometimes when you read the Bhagavatam, oh, so long purport, I just jump, I'll go to the next one. No. Knowing the things of the Vedas and to understand the meaning behind it. So the understanding behind, meaning behind it is the topmost. Even?
So on the nectar of instruction, the verse Tyahara Priyajashta, the verse commentary given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur is Amnaya. Am I true, Prabhu?
Again.
The commentary given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the text of NOI in text 2 and text 3 is Amnaya. The comment, the purport for the Rupa Goswami words. Is it true, Prabhu?
Good question. NOI itself is Amnaya. Nectar of instruction itself Amnaya. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is commenting from that Amnaya. You got it?
Okay, bro. Okay.
Huh?
Okay, bro. How you mention why nectar of instruction? you mention is
Nectar of
common?
instruction is what? It's the commentary on the spiritual, is instruction. That means in nectar of instruction is actually the instruction how to become a pure devotee. And how did Rupa Goswami is mentioning from his own self-realization. It's what I have heard from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All right, they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami meet in Ramakeli, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu give him instruction. After hearing all these from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came out and wrote this Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction. So first of all, in order to become a pure devotee of the Lord, this is the instruction you should follow. So the instruction is mentioned anywhere in the Vedas? Even?
It's not no, bro. The
Huh?
Vedas. The instruction given in anywhere in the Vedas is it?
Yes.
I'm not clear with your answer, bro. Question, bro.
No, this Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, do you find that in any Vedas or is it Rupa Goswami's words?
Rupa Goswami words, bro.
Exactly. If Rupa Goswami word, is it from Vedas?
Definitely from Vedas, bro.
By understanding.
By understanding, yeah.
By scrutinizing his study the Vedas, he came out with the thing Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. Yes or not?
Yes, bro.
So that's called Amnaya.
Prabhu, every case that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Chaitanya Prabhu is just given Sisastakam. So is it Rupa Goswami detailed the studies on Sisastakam or the Vedas, the overall Vedas, Prabhu?
Complete. Everything.
Okay, including Sisastakam.
Everything. Siksastakam is Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally instructed. That's the ultimate goal. So all of us are getting prepared to understand Sikshastakam.
Okay.
The Sikshastakam is at the Antya Leela, the final chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Okay, bro.
When you look at Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's the final chapter, yes.
Oh, okay.
Final chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita is Sikshastaka. So after Krishna will be like having conversation, at last the final, he give that Sikshastaka, the instruction, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So that's the final instruction. So the final instruction means the ultimate instruction. In order to achieve that ultimate instruction, we have to follow this. For instance, in order to chant very effectively, you have to be as humble as a grass, as tolerant as a tree. Okay, Vivan?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
So how are you going to be humble and how are you going to be tolerant? How are you going to be humble? How are you going to be tolerant? By doing Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. By giving up the urge to speak, the agitation of the mind, the uncontrolled anger, the demand of the mind and agitation of anger, right? So when people come and tell me, hey, you idiot, right? So Manasa Krodha Vegam. So Krodha, that means I know I don't have, I've already bring my anger under control. So when people call me idiot, crazy, you know, whatever it is, I just don't care. Because I understood Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. So I can tolerate. Right? Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. Right. Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha. Right. Then sometimes people come and tell me, you think you're a clever man, you're an idiot. You are this, they can tell whatever. No, I become as humble as a grass. So when the humbleness will come, when the urge of my mind, demand of the mind is subdued. Okay? Even? And how to subdue all these things? Atyahara prayascha. Atyahara prayascha. All these things you must understand. This is the thing that's going to agitate your senses. They're going to make you stuck in this material world. That you can never follow Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam if you have the 6 faults. If you got the 6 faults with you, you can never achieve it. Right? Then after that, okay, after achieve it, so what is the point? So whenever you talk about something very hard, example, oh, you want to become a soldier, right? You have to go through this kind of training. You have to march, you have to wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, you have to sleep 10 o'clock at night. You know, you have to run under the hot sun. You know, you have to stand like a log until you faint. Have you fainted before? No. Now you faint. Until you faint, you stand under the hot sun. Oh, boom, you pengsan. You go to, oh my God, it's so tough. I want to run away. But once you become a soldier, you are a gentleman. You are an officer. The way you walk, the dress that you wear, people will salute you. Oh, really? Yes, you become a soldier, you are that. No, you've got your own gittu, you know. So let me say something very negative. Then after that, say, what is that advantage of it? Then after that, what the mind will say, just little suffering, lifelong enjoyment. Why not? Just suffer for what? Pulapul, I think Pusa Latian, no, not there's Pulasa Latian. The Army Training Center in Port Dickson. Maybe you have to suffer for what? 6 months, 8 months, maybe 1 year. They just say, I just suffer for 1 year. Then after that, lifelong of enjoyment. Okay. So the mind will start to think, let me endure that training like that. So now, Vacho Vegam, if you can do this only, you can become a guru, you can convince the whole world. But in order to do that, you have to think about the 6 things that are going to destroy you. First, what is the advantage of being a devotee? Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. If you can just control your eyes, control your tongue, control your genitals, control your tongue, your belly and everything in straight line, you can be able to go and create disciples all over the world. That means disciple all over the world. What it means? It's not that you're going to become a guru and initiate people. The means is that you can become a perfect devotee. But in order to do that, the 6 things that are going to destroy your bhakti. Atyahara prayayascha, Atyahara prayayascha, Prajalpo niyamaga, Jana sangas cha laulyam cha sadbir bhaktir vinashyam. So these are the 6 things that are going to spoil your bhakti. Right? Then after that, what happened? Bhaktivinoda Thakur went deep into that subject. Right? He went deep into the subject and tell what are the things. But if you can control this, right? If you can control this, what is that? 6 things that are going to enhance your bhakti. What is the opposite to that? Utsaha Nischaya Dhairyat. Tat karma pravartanat. Sangatyaga sato vritti sadbir bhakti pradishyam. Right? Prasidyat. So by following these 6 things that are going to enhance your bhakti, right? Just imagine this Bhaktiyaloka is only text 2 and text 3. Everything is explained. So, according to my teacher, when I was doing Bhakti Sastri in VIHE before, my teacher was from Mauritius. I forgot his name. His name is what? A very nice name. He said, do you know, you do not need to read any other book. Just scrutinizingly study Nectar of Instruction. And with the supplementary of Bhaktiyaloka. This actually Bhaktiyaloka was given by him. The book of Bhaktiyaloka, because there's no Bhaktiyaloka in this country. So it was given by him. His PDF, he said, when you can study your Nectar of Instruction with supplement of Bhaktiyaloka, you can achieve the highest success. You can go back home, back to Godhead. You do not need to read anything else. And I was thinking, how is that possible? In my previous reading, I didn't understand. But now through the discussion with all of you, even I am deepening my understanding in this subject. All right. Nice question. Vivan. Is there any other question? Oh, there's one question here. You're shooting. Okay, just make it a quick one. Hare Krishna Prabhu, how should I write my daily journal? Prabhu, as you mentioned, should I include my daily activities, my decision making, or my feeling, how I react, everything? Very simple. Your daily journal is no need to write everything in detail. You're not writing a diary. All right. Example, today you just think, all right, okay, what happened like yesterday, all right, okay, like my journal, right? Suddenly I have a strong, because I thought yesterday was Vijay Ekadasi, I want to fast only with water. All right. But suddenly my tongue start to demand for food. And I start to feel like eating. Then I was thinking, I eat. Then my wife made this dosa, right? The buckwheat dosa, Ekadasi dosa. I say I'm not going to eat. But end up first thing in the morning after the class, I went straight away at that dosa. Then after that, I say, okay, I'm not going to take my lunch. Then end up, I took my lunch. Then I say, I don't take my dinner. Came back, she made a, what they call buckwheat pizza. I told my wife, I'm not going to eat. But when I came back, I saw the thing. Then I think. Then today, this morning, I started to reflect. What is my biggest weakness in my life? My tongue. My tongue is my greatest weakness. So how am I supposed to overcome it? Yesterday, I was like, even scolded my daughter. Tongue. Right? Vega. So that means I start to do my own self-reflection that my biggest problem, my weakest part of my senses is my tongue. and how to overcome it. So specifically, that's right. That's example. Right? Example, today you shout at your worker. Okay, work related, you don't need to write down. Right? Work related is totally different. Okay, your business, your job is totally different. We are talking about your personal, right? Because your work stress, sometimes you shout at your worker and all these things. Sometimes you don't even take that stress back home. But talk about other stress, right? That can affect your chanting. Any activity that can affect your sadhana, your chanting, consider where you went from. Am I clear to you, Kesavan? Any activity that's going to disturb your chanting, rectify that problem.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu.
You got it, eh?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, other than that, your job, you fight with your worker, you fight with your staff, you fight with the fleur, you suddenly you drive, suddenly one fleur come and honk, you get down and fight, that won't put it right. Only anything that's going to hinder your bhakti. Like yesterday, I made the most stupidest thing in life. I had the opportunity to chant from morning. But I said, later. But I end up, I chanted at night. Of course, I did quite a number of rounds. But I was thinking, if I could only chant it in the morning, I could have achieved more rounds. But this kind of this thing. So what is the thing? So weak mind. So all these things. So okay, what triggered my weak mind? All right, overconfident. I can do my rounds. What's big deal? 16 rounds are nothing. That one can do anytime. But then anytime make me do it at night. All right, for those practitioners, night chanting, of course, it's considered like not very desirable. Because early in the morning, when your mind is so clear, right? Sometimes cannot wake up early in the morning. Why? Because I ate my dinner at 9 o'clock. When I eat at 9 o'clock, I couldn't wake up in the morning. So next day, when the dinner is served to me at 9 o'clock, I make sure I don't eat it. Everything that you make, everything that you write, you must have the remorsefulness. That means you must regret. I shouldn't have taken that chapati because of that I cannot wake up early in the morning. So when next day, when the chapati comes to you, no, I'm not going to touch because I don't want to feel regret because you've written down. Anything that you write down, you will remember. If you're just going to keep it in your mind, it will never work. It will never work. Write it down. So that's a general. You just can even scribble it, all right? And after that, what do you do? Every week, end of the week, try to make a weekly review and start to find out, are you progressing? Monday, I did this. Tuesday, I did this. So ultimately, end of the week, okay, where have I progressed? Like my chanting, I always put it in my phone. No, the phone, in my phone, there's one thing called, what is that? What is the thing called? Notes. There's a thing called notes in my phone. Every day I put down. At one moment, I didn't even chant 0. Right? Honestly tell you, I'm not lying. There's a 0. I didn't chant the whole day. I was thinking to myself, I've been telling others to chant. And I am not chanting. I'm a hypocrite. And I regretted that. I was like I see myself, I say, you're a hypocrite. Why you couldn't chant? Where you went wrong? Procrastination. What caused procrastination? This, that, overconfidence, because I can easily chant. But end up, I didn't chant at all. So, for your information, my dear Prabhus and Mothers, being very transparent, let me tell you, in this entire month of February, I did not chant 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 1, 2, 3 times up to 24th February, up to yesterday, 3 days, I didn't chant. 0. One day on February 18, I only chanted 1 round. And February 19, I chanted only 3 rounds. All right? So what happened? So what I did, I replaced the chanting. Okay, but of course you can replace, but don't make it a habit. So that means next day I chant 16 rounds, replace that day. So somehow or other, I managed to replace the entire japa. But the question is, this is not a good sign. This is not a good habit. Right? It's not a good habit. So therefore, I start to say, okay, I'm writing every day. You can see, okay, every day that I'm putting down the note, and I'm saying, okay, what did I do? Okay, what is my balance goal? Because I've set a yearly goal. And what is my balance day? Starting from 1st February, I got 334 days left. So what is my daily japa target? And in February 1st, how many I did? February 2nd, how many I did? So like that. So I see my graph is going up. So now is the time, after I finish my February 28th, is the time for me to find how to make the graph steady. Not like this. Not like that. How to make it steady. So like that, you have to do self this thing. By doing it, you will achieve success in your channel. Is that okay? Yes, sir?
Understand, Prabhu, understand.
So by doing that, you will understand. By seeing 3 zeros in my calendar, I feel like a fool. I feel I'm a hypocrite. That regrets will make you next day make sure you do it. Next day, hey, no. Yesterday you did 0, you're regretting it. And you're advising people to chant 16 rounds every day without fail. And what are you doing? My own conscience cursing me. Right? All these things happen when you do it will happen to everyone. If you write down your journal, if you write down what you did, you don't need to see. Your conscience will tell you, hey, careful, choke. Yesterday you did that. Don't do it again. You're going to end up what you did yesterday. Really? Then I do something else differently. Like that. Okay? It's already 11:30. I've got a function in Pushpa Mataji's house. So anyway, thank you so much, my dear devotees, friends. Oh, where did we? Oh, Krishna. Did any one of you mark? Please, those who are taking notes, we are
last part of
marking at this. All right, regarding the first relative.
yes,
Have you marked? Oh, regarding the first relative. Oh, it's such a long. I think it's going to take at least 2 days now. Reveal scripture and regarding the first relative. Okay, I better mark it. I hope everybody marks the paper. Just mark the thing, bookmark, so that regarding the first relative. Okay. All right. So, dear devotees, thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate your commitment. So, okay. So we meet again tomorrow morning. Till then, have a beautiful day. Pancha kalpatrubhescha, kripa sindhudevacha, paritanam pavinivi, vaishnavyo namo namah. And if there's any takeaway, please kindly put it in a group, in our WhatsApp group, or you can even comment in that YouTube channel. All right. So your takeaway is something that I know that actually there is improvement in our learning. Hare Krishna. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you very much,
Go.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Learned a lot.